Welcome to Homegrown Mobility. Today we are working primarily on thoracic spine and neck mobility. These are notoriously tight places on our bodies, typically because we do so much forward, stable activities with our arms and our back in a solid, stable position. So it's really good at giving us that stability, but we want to be able to reach and not feel so much tension here over time. So we'll be working on some great drills you can bring into your daily practice, as well as a couple drills that will change your mobility over time as you practice them. Tools you'll need today include a wall and a ball or a cushion or something else you can squish a little bit, hug with your arms. And you'll need a yoga block or something that could mimic as a yoga block at some point. All right, let's go ahead and get set up. So let's get set up with our ball or cushion at the wall. Line up so that your heels don't have to touch the wall, but make sure they're even in distance. And then that you're supporting your body weight. You're not leaning into it too much. So butts against the wall, upper back against the wall, and back of your head against the wall. Let's just start with a nice strong grip around our object. The goal is to get our shoulder blades to pull around the edges of our ribs so that we can get them out of the picture and make sure we're isolating our spine. So let's do a couple breaths here. Start with a nice long inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Nice. Let's do one more. This time sealing the lips for both inhale and exhale. And as you exhale, bury those ribs. You can pull that object into your ribs, low ribs, and really feel them knit in with your belly, which should have some light tension on it now. Let's do two more breaths. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Blow through that straw. And see if you can find a smaller position through the front ribs. This time, don't let these ribs come up. Expand through the back ribs as you inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, blow through that straw. Nice. All right, you should feel some tension through your hips and lower body and belly into the ribs, not losing that rib position. Let's go ahead and start with some wall peels. We're going to start with flexion and basically kind of tackle each section of our thoracic CARs, and then we'll put it together. So start by peeling your chin down, back of the head off the wall, and then gradually let one vertebrae at a time roll down away from the wall. So you're hollowing out around that ball until just the lowest part of your mid-back is touching. So don't let it leave the wall so that just your butt is touching. Then you're flexing the low back. We don't want that. When you get to that point, go ahead and peel back up. Don't let the ribs flare up as you get to that upright position. Keep the chin rotating down on the head, on the neck, pardon me. And let's do that again. Inhale, exhale, peel the head away, then bring the upper back all the way down till we get to that part where the mid-back is just keeping contact with the wall, and then bring it back up. One segment at a time. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Start to roll off the wall. And then come back upright. Great. Next, let's work on some lateral flexion. I'm going to give you a different angle to begin with. You keep your back against your wall. My wall is not suitable for this. And we're just going to flex to the right to begin with. So go ahead and inhale up. Exhale, draw that ball into your ribs. Draw the ribs down. Good. We're set. Let's go ahead and inhale again. And as you exhale, bend to your right side. Keep both shoulder blades on the wall. And push down strong into that left foot. So you really drive and open up that left side body. When you don't have any more room, Come on up, inhaling through the center. And then exhale, bending to the left. Again, not rotating that right shoulder away from the wall and pushing strong through the right foot and getting as far into that bend as you can before you drive back up. Nice work. Let's do 2 more like that. Inhale. Exhale. Hinge to the side. Keep driving and expanding. And then inhale. As you inhale through the center, remember to fill up the back ribs. Not let that ball rise away from you. Last pair. And last one. Nice work. Come back to center. All right. Last little bit. We're going to work on flexion and rotation in that flexion. So go ahead and take a nice breath in. Bury the ribs and do your wall peel. Pull your head and then the top vertebrae off the wall one at a time until you get to that mid-back point where it's still touching. And now we're going to stay in this flexion and side bend. So it'll be more like a rotation. With the ball, I'm going to pull it over over my right hip. So it's resting into that ACES, my right side. Take a breath here. Expand that left rib cage on your inhale. And then exhale through the center to the left side. When you get there, take a breath through the right side body. And then exhale through. Nice. Keep that flexion. Keep the chin tucked. Roll the ball to your right hip. Take an inhale, expansion breath through that left side ribs. Exhale, roll it through. Almost there. Back to the left. So now it's okay for your shoulder, that opposite shoulder, to be rolled away from the wall. We're going for as much rotation as possible. Last pair here. Inhale into that left side body. Exhale through. Last rep. Inhale to the right side body. Push the right foot into the floor. Exhale through the center. Inhale, peel back up. Okay. Set down your object, shake your arms out for a moment. We're going to set up with a yoga block and put all those parts together into one big rotation. This is something that you can do in the morning while you're making your coffee at a reduced effort. Right now, we're going to try to hit it and get all the edges hard. All right, first thing we need is a yoga block. You're going to pin it between the wall. Make sure all 4 sides are down, nice surface is flat, and your low back. So right where your butt ends. So we keep this area as stable as we can. Then we're going to pick up our ball. This is the hardest part of the whole thing, without losing that block. All right, got the block, got the ball. Gonna get a big hug around it again. And now we're gonna have some feedback here. And we'll also have space to go into extension, which is, for me, the hardest part of the whole thing. So if you go too far into flexion, you'll feel your back on the top half of the block pull away so that you'll only be pinning it with the bottom part. That means you've gone too far and you need to back it up. If you get to extension and you feel the low edge of the block separate from your body, or your body separate from the block, then you've gone too far that way. So really be aware of all 4 corners of this block being in contact with your body. All right, follow along with me. Here we go, big breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth, bury those ribs. Nice. Take another sniff of air. And exhale, peel from that imaginary wall behind you. Tuck your chin, roll down through the mid-back. Don't let your low back lose contact with that block. Now we're in this flexion. We're going to rotate to our right hip. So go ahead and roll that ball over to your right hip. Stay in flexion. Let the left shoulder come away from the wall. And then From here, we're gonna stay in our side bend and just pull that left shoulder back to the wall. So we're in a nice big open side bend. From here, we'll arc all the way around to our left side bend. So go ahead and keep the ribs on the body, keep the belly braced. Don't lose that contact with the block on the low back. All the way over to your side bend on the left side, so both shoulders are at your imaginary wall right now. Now go ahead and curl the right shoulder off the wall. And then draw that ball or cushion across to your belly button. And then check that your low back is still in contact on that top half of the block before you roll up. If you're good, go ahead and roll up. And we reset. Let's do one more to the same direction. Big breath in. Exhale, draw the ribs in and wall peel. Go ahead and curl into flexion. Rotate to your right hip. Inhale, open up that left shoulder to the wall. Side bend to your right. Nice, and then come across the center in extension. So you're trying to open up the upper back, keeping the ribs on the body. Check that you're still in contact on all four corners on that block. Now is an easy time to lose that rib position. To your side bend on your left. Flex to the right, left side, and then roll to the center. Come back up to neutral. Good. Let's do two more, starting down the center and then moving to the left this time. So big breath in. Exhale, peel off. Roll to your left hip. Flexion and rotation. This is a tough one here. And then peel that right shoulder back. Keep the ribs on the body. Keep the ribs on the body. Keep bracing the belly. Extend through the center, arc up and over to your right side. Keep that belly braced, keep the hips on the block. And then around to the right hip. Roll through the center and back up to standing. Oop, did anybody lose that upper block section? Last one, inhale. Exhale. Bury the ribs and peel. Roll the ball to your left. Keep that right hip or back on the top corner of that block. Open up the ribs on the right side. Arc up and over to your left side, or right side, pardon me. Curl it in. Roll through the center. And then peel back up. Great work. All right, done with this tool for now. We're gonna get set up for some neck CARs in a moment. Welcome back. Let's move our focus to our neck. Let's break down the movements just like we did before with our thoracic CARs on the wall. Let's start with flexion extension. So with the neck, we're gonna be thinking about flexing and extending, and really it's a rotary movement. So when we flex the neck, we're gonna be tucking the chin in so much and thinking about, if you put your hands on that bump back here, your external occipital protuberance back there, and kind of somewhere in your cheeks or your chin and your jaw, bring that chin way down into triple chins, rotating the crown or the ponytail up toward the sky. That is our flexion, really lengthening here. And our extension is the opposite. We're reaching the chin up nice and strong without letting go of the ribs and really opening up the front of the neck, not doing this Ichabod crane business, okay? So big extension, big flexion. Let's go ahead and do a few rounds of that together. Start at neutral, and let's bury the chin, rotate the ponytail up, so your chin's way down in here into your sternal notch. And then without taking the ribs or the shoulders or the back with us, go ahead and start to reach the chin upward as we open up the length in the front of the neck. Hang on to the rest of the body. Do not let your back go into extension here. And just go as far as you feel comfortable. If you get pinching pain as you lift the chin on the back of the neck, then turn around a little sooner or stop that movement a little sooner. Let's go back to flexion. Same thing here. If you're getting pinching pain on the front of the neck as you close the chin down and in, return a little bit before that point. Let's do one more. All the way up. Nice. And then back to flexion. Really think about lengthening through the back of the neck on your flexion. And then last extension. Reach, reach, reach. Lengthening the front of the neck. And then back to neutral. Nice. All right, next. Let's do some rotation. Just work on basically the no. So what I want you to feel for is not that you're not reaching as you rotate, that your chin is floating over your sternal notch in the center position. And you're not searching for space when you rotate. Also, that opposite shoulder is not coming with. Go ahead and join me, rotating to your right. Through the center, and then to the left. You should be feeling a stretch on the side you're moving your chin away from. And some work on the inside, on that closing angle. Great. Let's come back to neutral. All right, last component. I'm going to move into flexion and then rotate in flexion. Okay, let's go ahead and draw our chin down into that sternal notch. Keep the ribs on the body. And then draw your chin across the collarbone toward the right shoulder. Keep that chin down. Don't let it float up as you get to the shoulder. And then draw it down and in as you come through the center toward the left shoulder. Again, not a lot of, don't aggressively depress those shoulders and try to keep everything as still and braced as possible. Try to hold just a little tension so you're mostly, the effort is on keeping your body stable is like at 40 or 50%. And just be mindful of making that action happen through the neck and not through the spine or the shoulders. Again, this part should feel good. We're working at a moderate effort here, 50 to 70%. We're not cranking it out. Let's repeat once more to the other side or wherever you need to go to even it out. Good work. Okay, we're gonna put it all together. So it's basically just we're drawing a circle with the crown of our head, or maybe with our chin, you can think of it that way. And we're trying to cover as much ground as possible without running into any little chinks along the way. So if you do have a pinchy spot in some part, just kind of go around, instead of doing the full circle, go around that little spot and continue on, just cutting out that painful spot or that disrupted spot. So let's go ahead and start with our flexion, just like we did before. So think about your head swiveling, rotating, tucking that chin, keeping the ribs buried, and then glide the chin toward the right shoulder. And then we didn't practice this part, but go ahead and tilt your head back like somebody's called your name over your shoulder, right over that shoulder, and you're trying to look back at them. And then we're ready for this big arc up and over. So go ahead and draw that big rainbow with your chin up and over, coming into as much extension as feels comfortable here, all the way to looking over your left shoulder. Don't strain your eyes. And then draw that chin down to the left shoulder and continue tucking it as you move it across your collarbone back home. Before we go around for another go, we're going to come back up to neutral. Reset. Take a breath. We didn't do that last round. Exhale. Peel the chin down. Rotate the ponytail up. Let's go to the right again. Glide the chin over the collarbone to the right shoulder. Look over the shoulder. Arc, big rainbow up and over. Coming through as much extension as you can, maybe keeping one hand where your ribs meet your belly so you don't go there with more extension. Looking over the left shoulder, drawing the chin in and gliding across the collarbone back to neutral. Before you reset, check that you're not doing what I just caught myself doing, which is rotating to that left side with my spine. Okay, let's do 2 more, moving to the left first. So back to neutral, big breath in. Exhale, peel the chin down, ponytail up, glide the chin across the collarbone to your left shoulder. Look over your shoulder. Big arc up and over with the chin. How far? You might be finding new space that you didn't think you had or didn't know you had. Keep nice neutral spine here as you come looking over your right shoulder. And then draw the chin down, gliding it across the collarbone to the sternum. And roll back up. One more breath. Exhale, peel down. Draw the chin toward the left shoulder. Look over the shoulder. Big arc up and over. Keep length in the back of the spine, back of the neck. Looking over the right shoulder. Tucking the chin. Gliding it along the collarbone back home again. And rolling up to neutral. All right, so that should feel nice. It should feel kind of lubed up and ready for some work. All right, we're on the ground. I had to do a wardrobe change. My hair, take your ponytail out if you need to. We're gonna work on this neck strength in a neutral posture. So we need to find that neutral posture first. So what we'll do, I like to have my feet on the ground for this. If you wanna stretch your legs out, you're welcome to. What we do is we do that head rotation thing we did earlier. So we just pivot the chin down. Not letting the ribs flare up. So not going here. And lengthening the external occipital protuberance, the EOP, does not roll off the tongue. Getting it as, the chin as buried as you can, okay? Then we're gonna reach the arms up and away so that it promotes more neutral ribs here. So we're not compensating with a long neck and then a busted up ribs situation. So big breath in. And I said that all the time. All right, we're gonna work on our neck posture muscles, our neck core, and we're gonna do it in the most neutral position we can get into. So neutral would be, well, not really neutral, but okay. All right, let's finish up with a little neck core training. So we want to lengthen the cervical spine, the neck bones, and stack them as rigidly as possible. So what we'll do is that exercise we did earlier, that setup where we bury the chin. And if you're finding your ribs flaring as you do this, go ahead and take a breath in. Pull those ribs down and in. And lengthen through the back of the head and the back of the neck at the same time. Good. So you've got your ribs, you've got your lengthened position through the back of the head. The chin is way buried. Then we're going to get the shoulder blades out of it and promote more of that buried rib position, that neutral hip to rib position, reaching the shoulder blades apart. So not just reaching the arms up, but pushing the fingertips even higher, and then using that tension to drive more length into the back of the neck and bury those ribs even more. And we're going to take a breath. Big exhale, sip some air in and lift the head off the ground, just enough to slip a piece of paper under it, just enough. 5, 4, keep holding it, 3, 2, 1, float the head down, exhale. That's 1 rep, all right? Every time you do that, I wanna make sure you just barely lift the head off. Let's set up, get that head in position, reach strong, inhale, and lift. You can keep a shallow breath without losing the tension. 2, 1, float it down, rest. Cleansing breath. Let's do another one. Inhale. Start reaching the fingers toward the ceiling, burying that chin. Exhale, lift the head off. 3, 2, 1. Float the head down, cleansing breath. 2 more reps. Here we go. Start to bury the chin, reach the fingers, bury the ribs. Inhale. Exhale, push the head off the ground, tuck that chin in more. 3, 2, 1. Float it down, relax. And you've got 1 more rep to go. All right, sip some air, reach the fingers, brace the belly, and draw the chin in, lift off. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Float the head down. Let the arms fall out overhead. You can reach a little counter stretch. Reach that chin up and out, just like we did earlier. So if you get sore neck muscles tomorrow, you're not catching a cold. You might just have been worked a little from this exercise. Okay, excellent work today. That is a wrap on thoracic spine and neck health. Looking forward to our next workout together.